and they won't be back
30
for another
seconds
week.
before you
They're flying
attack.
all over the
Get
world.
ready.
They're doing different things, while TSA agents and other federal
Warlock
workers
is a curious
are
name
not
for
going to
one
get
with
paid.
no arcane
Should everyone have
powers.
stayed?
I didn't choose it.
No one
I think
chooses their
this
birth
is the
name.
Democrat plan
But
was
after
to
that,
shut down not
you may
for
call yourself what you like.
anything but political
I like
theater.
Adam
It's not
Warlock.
because they're trying to make
Maybe
a
I'll
point.
start
They
calling
know that
myself
ICE is still going to do their
Sorcerer
job. The Border
Supreme.
Patrol is still going to do their job.
The
It's
battle
because the
starts in
president, when we
5,
come back, the
4,
president's going to be doing the State of the
3,
Union.
2,
You'll fly for me.
Shutdown. Keep in mind,
Will you fly for me?
What you do is capture the mission area.
so let's
Got
go
it?
to TSA agents. TSA agents are technically receive their next paycheck on the 15th. They get paid on the 15th and the 1st. They're going to get paid on the. It actually end up being on the 17th. Or possibly the 15th. So the payroll's already been sent out.
Pentagram by the eye of Agamotto.
And so I believe
I am strengthened.
The mission area is yours to capture now.
And what I mean by this is the president they're trying to negotiate Aisha with the Democrats in good faith. We wanted a longer CR, continued resolution, where we extended it 2 weeks. The Democrats purposely put it at 2 weeks, or because we wanted to go 4 to 6. And they haven't even sent us a paper in rebuttal to what the White House sent over just 2 days ago.
Behold the god of thunder!
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
So
I mean, this is-
they're not even negotiating.
This is the third since October. And it's hard not to see why so many Americans look at Washington and Congress and they think, like, what are you all doing? What's going on over there? And the fact of the matter is, the big beautiful bill. I mean, ICE continues to operate. They have money. This is going to hit TSA, your airports, travel. Explain why
You've
we're here.
captured more than half
Why
of the
are we
mission
here in
area.
the first
Keep
place?
going.
Why was this leverage given to Democrats?
Proud creatures return to the seas at once.
60-foot vote threshold in the Senate because we can put 51 on the bill. We can probably put 52 to get the funding.
I am
It's
strengthened
the
for
Democrats
battle.
when they are negotiating with political theater on actual policy. It's hard to actually get the 60-vote threshold, which is why I said the conversation about the filibuster, especially should really start being in conversation because we're no longer negotiating in good faith. Like I said, the reason why we're in this shutdown isn't because I think the conversation needs to continue. I don't think that this
The Sorcerer Supreme lives once more.
The filibuster isn't even written in the Constitution. If you go back to the history of the Senate, it used to only be 51. We changed it in 1807, we changed it in 1917, we changed it in 1975, and at some point we need to start having this conversation because we got to get rid of this political back.
Let me ask you, you brought up the State of the Union. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Democrats respond to the president this year. They're divided right now over how to protest President Trump's speech. It's happening. It's coming soon in a couple of weeks. And House leadership, Senator, is worried that a big display could actually hurt the party politically. Imagine that. They're reportedly telling members to just sit silent in defiance or skip the speech entirely. And here's a taste of Democrats' behavior inside the chamber. We all remember it. You were there. Watch what happened last year.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum,
You'll
the
need
chair
a
now
top-notch
directs the
team
sergeant
to
at
win
arms
this
to
one.
restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
You and I both were in that room. How do you think this
Open
year's
your
going to go?
eyes. Reality
I think
is
that
but
the
an
House
illusion.
Democrat members are probably going to do the same. I don't think you'll see the same political theater from the Senate. Not that we're any better or worse. It's just that this is now a political year. So this is about individuals, not with the Trump derangement about fighting against the primary. So it's once again, the Democrats are not operating in policy, they're operating in political theater, and I think unfortunately you're going to see a lot more.
When
of this in their
science
leadership,
failed me,
and they just
magic
don't show
was
up.
there.
I had said
I don't know if that's
like
happening.
to
TV,
attack.
just like
Get ready.
Congressman Green there wanted to be on TV.
Exactly.
And for
Perfect
me,
humor to make me feel inadequate.
I had to sit
You were
through
already doing that
Obama's
before I
speeches.
arrived.
Yeah.
I never acted like that, and believe me, I didn't support
Perhaps a
him. I had to
good
sit through
fight will
Biden's
improve
speeches.
your
I didn't act like that, even though there's nothing
Senator.
I agreed with what he said.
We
Because
gotta
there's
go.
decorum.
We gotta go.
All right.
Watch it together.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
battle
Click
starts
here.
in 5,
Subscribe to the Fox
4,
News channel on
3,
YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest
2, 1.
interviews and
All you need
highlights.
to do is
And
capture
click to
the
subscribe to the
mission
Will
area.
Kane
Got it?
podcast for full episodes right now.
The jobs numbers actually kind of understate how wonderful the economy's doing. We've got high growth and low inflation.
I am strengthened for battle.
There's a pain point on the buzzword affordability going into the midterm, and that's both political and factual. People say politics very simple. It's all about the economy, stupid. That's a very famous line. It holds true today.
Well, the January jobs numbers are out. The jobs numbers added 130,000. Unemployment rate down to 4.9%. Axios writes, split jobs reports are related to stabilizing for now. Still, he is forgiven for having economic whiplash over some downbeat indicators leading up to Ford, including funding job openings and sharply negative polling on American perception of the job
The Sorcerer Supreme lives
bigger than
once
expected
more.
this time, but some revisions for last.
I'm
months.
opening a
Let's bring
portal.
in our panel: former White House press secretary and Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer.
A
Yevgeny
shortcut to
Edgar-Wise,
space.
former chief of staff and advisor to Fox News
require
chief political
speed.
analyst Britt Keenan. Britt, how do you see it? How do you read it? All the fallout and
I think the underlying reality is that the natural state, the normal state of the U.S. economy is growth.
Good medicine. I purge the darkness.
Too heavily
Get that
regulated,
vehicle to its destination.
high, and the cost of money is not too high. The economy will grow, which it seems to be doing now, and the job market is much that. And I think it's possible, although I'm not ready to say it's likely, that the boom that President Trump and the Treasury Secretary have been predicting for this year may in fact come to pass.
yeah, we just put up where Republicans gain on Democrats.
Enemy in front of us.
This is the Republican voice immigration. But if you look at Democrats, where they lead in polls right now, affordability and helping the middle class are big numbers. And D+2
I am ready to put on a show.
that's what some Republicans are looking at. Change the message heading
Yeah, I think it's great the economy.
Don't mess with the amazing
The
spider!
next goal is forward
Mortal
mobility.
pain
Look,
is no
this job
match for the
increase was in a
Sorcerer
particular sector
Supreme.
for healthcare, and if I'm thinking about the younger generation, the generation that both Democrats and Republicans want to grasp before the midterms, we need to think outside of
Second
folks who
chance
wanna
is
work
over.
in nursing in a hospital. They're the younger generation that wants to work in a more dynamic job industry, and that's startups, that's the tech industry. And so
Our
I
enemies
think
are near.
the party that grabs for the midterms is the party
I
that
usually
talks
like the
about
underground
jobs in a way
scene.
that is hyper-focused and growth for one sector.
Yeah, Ari, we've got
There,
Jason Riley of the Journal writes, America is running out of patience with Republicans. Voters no longer blame Joe Biden for the state of the economy, and Trump's policies haven't delivered. Are Americans in a patient mood? The Trump administration certainly hopes so.
vehicle
They're
reached a
saying
checkpoint. Keep up the
they
momentum.
will more. President Trump's first term, when he really delivered, is when you could say that they, all the data, all the stats, including agree, poverty for African Americans all-time low, Hispanic Americans all-time low, wage growth surging for low-income people, higher than it was for middle-income or even upper income. That was the type of boom that made everybody feel so good. You fired COVID.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
Good numbers, President Trump, is the fact that unemployment doesn't mean people believe
Here is our escort.
Be your best self.
So there's no big
Dark
surprise in
magic.
having low unemployment. Inside these numbers, though, was the key, and that's wage growth. Wage growth was 3.7% in January year-over-year.
A nice
That's
deep
a
freeze.
strong
By the eye of Agamotto!
What it means is people are making
The winds of Watoon blow fair this day.
That's the key for President Trump and Republicans. Wages back to low. It is a good number, a strong number, not a great number. You want to see wages go up even faster.
Leave me,
higher.
darkness!
That's the key.
Double kill.
Take it to Capitol Hill. Some fire
I'm opening a
exchanges. We've seen a lot of House hearings read where
Another
Biden
epic
and
victory.
Democrats Republicans as well, looking for a spotlight. But there were some big ones. Attorney General Trump, Congressman Nadler, and Rossi.
How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Restore 45 seconds, Mr. Nadler, please, Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her
Pick your
filibuster all day
hero.
long, but not on
Or
our
villain.
watch.
I'm not judging.
Not on our time. No way.
Reality
I told you
is
about that,
but an
Attorney General,
illusion.
before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
Oh, yes, Brett. It's always fun to listen to.
You know, Brett, back in the late 70s into the late 80s, I covered Congress. And I can't tell you how many hearings it ended up like that I covered. And it shows you that some things about Washington don't change. And these explosive sounding hearings are one of those things. The truth is that very little information is revealed or adduced in those
30
sections.
seconds before you attack.
They're fun
Get
to watch
ready.
and they're kind of exciting in their own way, but they don't really go anywhere.
We'll see where this goes. I mean, obviously this deals with the Epstein issue, and the victims were in that room raising their hands that they hadn't talked to the DOJ. We see stories every day. Just moments ago, breaking news, Yemisi, is that the SAVE Act, the president likes to call it the Save America Act, on
The battle
voting,
starts in
just
5,
passed the House of
4,
Representatives. Still has
3,
to pass the U.S.
2,
Senate. It
1.
deals with providing identification to
All you need
vote.
to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
What's the sense?
Time has come.
Well, my sense is I agree with Senator Schumer is that it's going to have a tough road in the Senate. But I do think if the president changes the way he talks about the SAVE Act, a lot of it is seeking the fact that he believes in the restoration of bipartisan consensus in the middle ground with Democrats. I think he will go with them. He wants the SAVE Act. Having voter ID is a very popular bipartisan
Back now.
doesn't include Democrats.
Capture the mission area.
You know, Democrats oppose it because they say it's the vote. Go out and get an ID. They don't have ID. Well, you know, it's followed by Medicaid, food stamps. You have to have an ID. You have to prove you're a citizen. And so I don't get the Democrat point. If you're poor, get an ID, why would you qualify for food stamps? Is that more clear? Because there's no logic to the Democrat position other than they're working so hard to let anybody vote without knowing if they're a citizen. It's the perfect problem. No one will catch you. You voted, you got away with it, and then nobody will catch you. See who's a citizen. So I don't understand the Democrats out there. Yeah, we'll see where it goes in the Senate. Right now they don't have any votes.
Your team's tax progress is past the halfway point.
I require some aid.
Shield up.
Born again!
Once again with voters. It's a
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
demanding passage of the Save America Act.
Woo! Never miss!
Show up in a midterm or presidential election.
Born again!
Citizenship. And he says there's one mail-in ballot. And while recent polling shows overwhelming support for voter ID laws,
requiring photo ID? Is that something that you can support? And if not, why not?
It's still going to be something, Jonathan. It's still going to be something that disenfranchises people that don't have the proper real ID, driver's license ID, that don't have the ID necessary to vote, even though they are citizens.
Anyone willing to help?
This is another way to simply try to suppress the vote.
You are safe now.
Senator Harry Missouri member of the Senate Judiciary and Armed Services Committee. Great to see you today. So you saw the 71%.
Keep going.
Because the Democrats and I think if 2024 represented anything else that was a sort of common sense, it's going to be more of a common sense proposal than saying, yeah, provide voter ID to vote, just like when you check into a hotel or you buy an airline ticket, just to prove who you are. But I think it's really interesting in telling the two issues of this issue of illegal immigration and this issue of voter ID. Democrats aren't really quiet about it. They're just sort of saying the quiet part out loud, which is they want to bring in 15 to 20 people, 15 to 20 million people illegally, and they want them to vote for them because any other ideas are terrible, and they can't...
The moon wants you not give in. Born again!
She's going to be very angry.
Shield! I'll take a shield.
Disappear! Shields up! Let's keep fighting together!
Not for me, apparently, for calling out Senator John Ossoff for asking campaign
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
The same thing for federal elections. Last year, when the state act passed, the House Ossoff released a statement, quote, "This is a nakedly partisan, totally unworkable, bad faith bill cynically intended to disenfranchise millions of eligible voters," end of quote. But even that was a switch up from this comment back in 2021.
Are you open to things like voter ID if in
In a
fact they
world
correct some of the
consumed
other
by
issues
darkness,
like early voting?
I will gladly be the light.
Absolutely. I think it's right and appropriate, and the widely held view of folks in Georgia and across the country, that we need to be able to make sure we're confirming the identity of folks who are participating in
30
elections.
seconds before you
So in
attack.
2021,
Get
he
ready.
did agree with 71% of Democrat voters that voter ID is a good idea.
Warlock is
What
a
changed
curious
between
name
then
for
and
one with
2026?
no arcane powers.
Well, he's terrified
I
because he's the
didn't
most
choose
vulnerable
it.
Democrat on
No
the map.
one
He's
chooses
elected in the
that
state of
birth
Georgia,
name.
which is a conservative
After
state that has
you may
two
call
Democrat
yourself
U.S.
what you
senators.
like.
It's
I
also
like
the
Adam
home of
Warlock,
Stacey Abrams,
but maybe I'll start
who
calling
engineered
myself
this
Sorcerer
mass
Supreme.
mail-in balloting scheme election
battle
or so
starts in
two
5,
cycle ago, right?
4,
So he understands
3,
what's at stake,
2,
which is if you actually
1.
have people who are voting,
All you need to do is
require them to
capture
show
the
ID
mission
that
area.
over
Got it?
80% of Americans support. Like,
By
you would think in
Ashtor,
this
there are
country,
baby
we have a lot
wizards
of things we can
everywhere
argue about
these
that are
days.
80-20 issues.
If I had the
This is an 80-20
patience,
issue.
I
This is the
would
kind of
open
thing
school.
that we should get done here. This Save America Act is common sense. The Democrats don't like it because it threatens their power.
you are, you
That's the
cheeky
electoral
bitch.
code that works for all these positions. They will remove that power, they will do their jobs, people know what people think, and they
I am actually cosmic might.
You know, I was wondering what it's like for you on Capitol Hill. You know, like some of the left, Georgia's showing 90 at the polls. More Democrats voted in favor of SAVE Act. And here's what Pennsylvania Democrat Senator John Fetterman, who you always hope has one friend in his own party, said this weekend.
And now, me as a Democrat, I do not believe that it's unreasonable or to show ID just to vote. It's not a radical idea for a regular American to show your ID.
Feeling fantastic.
And it's absolutely nothing to Jim Crow or anything.
Born again!
Release the Clone
I was swallowing me. I am actually Cosmos guilty.
Dinner time, love!
This ends now.
Jim Crow 2.0 and trying to fear-monger over an issue that everybody knows makes common sense. You have to present your ID, you do all kinds of things to buy beer,
You've captured
you
more
know,
than
to
half
check
of
into
the mission
hotels.
area.
It's
Keep
reasonable,
going.
perfectly reasonable for people to show. By the way, a government issue that would be paid for by the government. No one's going to be, out of pocket for this. That's how easy this thing would be.
I am never fall!
Tremble before fast!
They're going to agree to dramatically reform the way in which ICE and other immigration enforcement agencies
Board again!
so they're behaving like every other law enforcement agency in the country, or they're making the explicit decision to shut down the Coast Guard, shut down FEMA, and shut down TSA, and that would be very unfortunate.
Democrats are now rolling out 10 demands tied to DHS funding, including banning ICE agents from wearing face masks, forcing body cameras. Well, wait, but President Trump is already supporting the cameras and requiring visible ID at all times. Oh, so they do want ID. It's Cosmos Field.
Yeah, doesn't it? But here's, let me just lay
I unleash the Vishanti's born again!
Team's capture progress
something that you can run on because you can
I'm wondering where all the political ads are right now against Democrats saying your only place to shut down and it's millions of people. 10 seconds to
We'll get this done. I mean, look, the Democrats, if they wanted to fund it, it's going to affect TSA and FEMA. ICE money is already from the Working Families Tax Code last summer. We've already front-loaded all that money. ICE operations will continue.
Another epic victory!
Thank you for the time. Always.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Cafagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.
You guys, we're going to start with the Fox News Alert. The new year is bringing in new concerns about the alleged widespread fraud in Minnesota. A new paid leave program went into effect yesterday, giving any Minnesota resident up to 20 weeks of paid time off each year on the taxpayer's dime. State lawmakers are raising red flags, saying the program could be the next target for fraud. This is the Faulkner Focus. Hello, everyone. I'm Julie Banderas in for Harris today. So one policy
Pick your
expert
hero.
says this.
Or villain.
This is
I'm
going to
not
be
judging.
just like all these Medicaid programs that they start from the beginning, where they say, oh, we'll probably have $2 or $3 million.
Open your
claims on
eyes.
this. And then
Reality
quickly
is
it
but an
balloons
illusion.
up to 100, 200 million. Capitol Hill is also taking a closer look. The House Oversight Committee has announced 2 hearings to examine Minnesota's massive fraud scandal. The first is set for next week. It's going to feature 3 Minnesota state Republicans who say they have been investigating the fraud allegations for over a year now.
We sure a
And then in
long way
February,
from the Big
Minnesota
Easy.
Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison are invited to testify. No word yet if they'll actually
Gonna
show
have
up.
to make
But
way
House
for the King of
Majority Whip
Tees.
Tom Emmer, also a
30
Minnesota
seconds
Republican,
before you attack. Get ready.
Everyone. Let's be clear. Letting billions of dollars
Wind,
be built
cloud,
from Minnesota taxpayers.
I
out
do
of
the
the
right
state
thing
government.
unless the right thing is more
Definitely
fun.
gross negligence, David, but somebody was complicit. And if
Oh,
it's,
no,
if
it
it's
totally
the
was.
governor, if it's
You
the
should see
attorney
mine.
general, I don't
It's
care
a
who it
million
is,
times more
they
gross.
need to be held accountable and they need to be prosecuted to the full extent
battle
of the law
starts in
if they were
5,
complicit.
4, 3,
House Oversight
2,
Committee member
1.
Nancy Mace is coming up.
All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Has been following
Got
the
it?
story for us with more action.
Hey, Julie, Minnesota's new paid leave program hasn't even been open for 2 full days, and already whistleblowers in state government are saying it will be under the new law. Almost every resident is eligible to take up to 20 weeks of paid leave a year to take care of family or for medical reasons, which a percentage of a person's salary.
The mission area is yours to capture now.
The program is projected
Capture the mission area!
$1.5 billion a year. Republican lawmakers say that could go up dramatically. Legally, the law is written, making it.
I'll patch you up.
One thing that people don't know, you can designate one person annually as the person you care for. So I can designate my uncle living in Florida, go on vacation, and it's up to your employer to investigate whether you're really caring for that person or not. But that's
You're welcome.
There's no guardrail. It's going to be just like we said. The honor system is not the best way to distribute all this money.
This is way more fun
Despite the
than it
growing
should be.
scandal around the alleged fraud already taking place, Governor Tim Walz is dismissing those concerns from Republicans. That the paid leave policy pushed through the legislature by Democrats has the necessary guardrails in place to prevent any more rampant fraud.
Oh my God, Governor, ask your secret. You're welcome.
There's a shooter on the scene.
This is real.
We know of at least 10 federal agencies
Maximum pulse!
investigating alleged fraud in Minnesota, looking into more than 15 different
I'm
state
gonna
and
get
federal
relay
programs.
deployed.
And
It
Republican
ain't
lawmakers
cheap.
say it likely won't be long
You've
before this
captured
new
more than
paid
half
leave
of the
policy
mission area.
is
Keep
out
going.
Julie?
Garrett Tenney, thank you very much.
I'll patch you up.
South Carolina. Member of the committee joins me now. She's also a candidate for South Carolina governor. Thank you very much for talking
Team
to us.
play. That's me.
Never miss!
This is going to get used. He's got to be
You're ready for
what's
action.
already going on in the state. I mean, this is a lot of maternity leave, and I'm all for maternity leave. I also believe very strongly in maternity leave, so dads can be there for the moms. But this is going a bit too far on the taxpayer.
No, of course. I mean, yeah, of
You're
course.
welcome.
We're talking about governors and guys that can't even define what a woman is. Let alone, you can't trust him with anything. I mean, with anything related to, I think, government spending and government fraud. And we've seen the state for billions of dollars of fraud, including, and I'm a mom, and, you know, I raised my children too, who are both just about adults now, but like one daycare center with less than 100 children getting millions of dollars, $3 million or more. We're talking about significant fraud. Nobody's showing up. Nobody is getting this money, and that if you call it out and
You'll have to keep fighting and keep
and I hope he shows up next week, is that they're thinking that Minnesotans are white supremacists because they want to make sure their government money isn't wasted. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, he's nuts.
I am no
There were some people that showed up to these
I'm
child
simply
care
a man
centers. They
who
were
wishes
parents
to
that were
use his
taking
power for good.
who were posing as parents who were actually dropping their children off at child care centers, or leering centers, as they call them. Here's Trey Gowdy, by the way, who spoke out about the fraud in Minnesota on America's Newsroom earlier. Watch.
The bigger something is,
I
the more
tend to
places
lost
there
souls.
are
A shepherd tends
and
to
so when you
flock.
have these billion-dollar programs, I think what little folks like me want to know: who paid taxes, who designed it, what fraud safeguards were in place, who administered it. By the time
30
the
seconds before you
complicated
attack.
Molly,
Get ready.
honestly, the damage is done. I mean, the damage is done to the victims and it's done to the taxpayer.
Still hiding the damage is done. So then now, how are they going to recoup that money? We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars that were stolen under taxpayers' noses. And then you've got Tim Walz and the Minnesota governor's office basically saying that, yeah, this has been all under investigation, which, by the way, it dates back to
The battle starts in
2015,
5,
and it's still
4,
flourishing in
3,
2025.
2,
and then the governor
1.
Seems to think
All you
that
need to
they've
do
got
is
it
capture
under
the mission
control,
area.
and
Got it?
we're not even sure if he's going to testify.
Even though it's shattered.
Well,
the sword
correct.
of first
I
sheath
cannot wait for
always
him to testify. I'm telling you, I wrote my my questions this morning for the oversight. If you justify, I've already written my questions.
I require some aid.
I've written my questions for your
Twice before targeting us again. Quantum magic.
to get to the bottom of this. But it's okay. Governor Walz's office asked one of these organizations to investigate themselves. Guarding the hen house sort of scenario. But
We are in this together.
if the money has gone overseas to fund terrorism, they're never going to get it back. We have a right to know the American taxpayer dollars fund terrorism overseas. And if any Somalians had anything to do with any of this, they need to be denaturalized and deported now.
Quantum magic.
Saying that this is, you know, an ethnic crisis.
Quantum magic. They're shooting at us from afar. I feel better already.
And the state of Minnesota right now is at the very center of
The Cosmos heals you.
Maximum pulse! Born again!
Quantum magic.
Why not? That too many progressive leaders are lackadaisical social services. And here we are.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Is touting on socialism and more
I am at your service.
because the government is supposed to be in control. People take advantage of it.
Oh, 100%. And last I checked, the green dollar bill is not partisan. It doesn't take political affiliation. It doesn't raise. It doesn't see bigotry.
Feel better already.
No matter what's in it. And if you can imagine, if we could save billions of dollars, what we could do to
The
feed
Cosmos
hungry
heals
babies,
you.
or what we could do to get another family formula that can't afford it, what we could do to give those resources to families who really need it.
Give it them a
Resources of help, but because of the rampant fraud, we have
I require some aid.
Us against the world!
Unite. The Cosmos heals you.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Control lost!
Strength is in me. The Cosmos heals you.
And I told the public now that the subsidies are keeping healthcare costs down. It's angry. So like they will blame the public areas. There you are, you cheeky bitch.
Quantum magic.
Another unsuspecting foe.
You belong to me!
Born again!
The 3-year extension of tax credits that Democrats under Huffington
Quantum magic.
Control lost!
So there are Republicans that
It's the Democrats, by the way, that allowed for the government to shut down for so many weeks, causing layoffs and people not receiving.
Maximum pulse!
Democrats blame each other.
Past the halfway point!
To expire, can you explain who is at fault here? Because each police figure of the other party.
Yeah, we're talking about an almost 400% increase potentially for healthcare
Quantum
for
magic.
everyday hardworking middle-class Americans. I personally blame both parties for the situation that we're in right now. The shutdown obviously was caused by the pandemic, but also this deadline for the subsidies.
Quantum
Everybody knew
magic.
this was happening, and there was no solution. The solution we have right now is a Band-Aid. I consider the Republican solution a temporary Band-Aid.
Oh, Steve almost got it!
Quantum magic. We are in this together.
But at the end of the day, these subsidies, Obamacare itself, was voted on by Republicans and Democrats alike. Subsidies cause price of goods and services to increase exponentially.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Is because of the overregulation of government and health.
Lost and beautiful, baby! Never fall!
In some states that still have certificate of need programs that
produce monopolies and no competition. You have insurance companies that are price gouging, where they don't have competition and they have the ability to do that, where there isn't much.
Another epic victory!
You have PBMs, you have the subsidies, you have issues with contracts between doctors and hospitals and relief, that they can't compete with the hospital when they create a new facility. I mean, this thing has been started by, it's the federal government, it's the state government, it's everybody putting their finger into a problem and creating it and making it worse. If we could just go back to the private sector, competition, prices would go down and the quality of care would go up.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up regulation because health insurance companies have way too much power. I mean, just way too much power. It's outrageous. It's unfair. All right, Congress.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
At the tragic expense of sick Americans who need
Open your
the
eyes.
affordable
Reality
health
is but an
insurance.
illusion.
Thank you so much, as always, for talking to us.
All right, you're watching live now. I'm Austin Westfall. A live look at the White House on this
Be
Saturday
wary.
evening.
No
have a lot
timeline
to discuss.
exists where
Busy week
Magneto
tracking the White
yields.
House. Will Weiser tracked the White House for the Associated Press. He's here with me. So, Will, a lot to discuss. Of course, the number one thing on many people's minds this week was the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Obviously, feds are
30
on the
seconds
ground in
before you
Tucson.
attack. Get
What is the
ready.
White House's level of involvement with the case? Trump said yesterday that
We
progress
fight
is
today
being
not just for our mutant brothers and sisters, but
this
for
is
all
something obviously
sentient
the White
life.
House, like all of us, like the whole country is following very closely. They've been
As
from
have
on
you,
down. They've been saying
my
from the
dear.
beginning that they've been
Perhaps
praying for the
further than
Guthrie
any
family,
of
that
us
they're
could
really
ever
following this
hope
closely.
to fathom.
But there is a little
The
bit
battle
of
starts in
a sort of
5,
a hands-off approach that the
3,
FBI is
2,
involved with, the
1.
federal authorities are involved.
All
but
you
they
need
are
to do
also
is capture
trying
the
to work
mission
very
area.
closely with
Got it?
local authorities and state authorities, and so there's sort of the clash of coordination between the different levels of government there. As far as the president's they follow very closely. They came out with television coverage with the president, frequently doing that. So he's clearly been following it very closely. And it has been in part of the situation. But they've also been, like I say, very careful to not just trying to coordinate with the state and local authorities rather
Double KO!
Showing the kids how it's done.
4 people in total, including one person relating to a Range Rover. That's what we're looking at video of right now. We will continue to follow the White House's updates.
You need not fear.
Sure, I'll take a shield. Let's get that vehicle to its destination.
Your attacks are futile. You are under my protection.
I am ready to put on a show.
Never fall! Fantastic!
So it can really have quite an impact.
I feel like myself again.
Exactly how it's spent, right?
You are under my protection.
That don't support some of the tariff policies. You might see a situation where he could support opponents.
Let's roll.
Disappointing in the primary. So that might be one way we might see some political spending. He could also use it to sort of support Republicans against Democrats in general. One thing that's come out of the White House, the president said that he saw in his first term that the Democrats really had a big year in 2018 to wait and rolling up the House. His second term, really saw a lot of stuff this time. But it's interesting because it's always been a very good fundraiser. The president, he's still raking in lots of money, still doing a lot of fundraisers, still sending out a lot of money, tireless about it. elections this time or maybe down the road?
When we see a political party win the presidency, do they typically face an uphill battle during that?
Get that vehicle moving again! Take everything!
Today, you know, this is what I say. That's the party that wins the presidency.
Dinner time, love!
Right, people were really excited to vote for the party. You know, it's 2024.
I am ready to put on a show! You are nothing!
That's the hunter guy. You know, it's quite possible that just too careful with looking for money or just the boost I need. And working on ads that maybe try and close that. Never fall! One thing that the president has said clear zero and we all done. He expects to get impeached again. Interestingly, you know, he has political funds in the past that he funneled to his lawyers that didn't pay legal fees.
Thanks
And
for the
he was
love.
indicted criminally by the Biden Department of Justice Department. He's also facing civil
Cosmic might.
So there is precedent there too. This is political money spent on political activities, but there are actually like whiskey. So if the Democrats were to have particularly strong showing in November, you know, the president could also use the work session about that way.
Let's talk about Congress. That was another major thread we were tracking all week was this new deadline for DHS.
Go for it, go for it.
Partial funding collapse, funding lapse centered on
Much better.
there are real
Rise, my friend!
and day-to-day government operations. Some regular what does the White House see as the most important point of leverage in these negotiations?
Second chance is over.
Let's roll for the public eye.
Nothing!
That's right. The Democrats in Congress are really calling for more restrictions on immigration enforcement. They say that they'd like to see more transparency of what's going on there. And the negotiations are
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
as we speak, and they'll continue to talk even though Congress is out of session definitely until Thursday. If there is some sort of breakthrough, they can come back and vote early. But you know, I think that one that's talked about publicly a lot is masked agents, right? The Democrats, by and large, congressional Democrats are very much opposed to folks that are doing immigration enforcement that are masked. And on this issue specifically, President Trump has been asked over and over again and won't really give an answer to the importance of the issue. November, you know, there are going to be some disruptions and some pain being felt in the short term by a lot of folks. But overall, despite the fact that operations continue, I think we still will have immigration enforcement, deportation, things like that. They just might look a little bit different until the shutdown is over and negotiations really are ongoing.
I am ready to put on a show!
Let's talk about the EPA. Greenhouse gas topic of discussion this week. You owe me now. They're gonna pay for this shit.
Rise, my friend! Release the Glotron!
Never fall! Now you do the same for me, Lee.
Immediate legal or economic consequence that the White House
Well, you know, the White House is really hoping that this will sort of cause a boom in the energy industry, right, and sort of manufacturing with regulations coming down. These are not things that will happen immediately. But they're really counting on this to unleash business and production
Thanks for the love,
some of that these are rules that were in place in 2009, right? They've repealed. And there are they say this ultimately will make everybody less safe, right? That it's going to cause the air to be more polluted and the environment less safe, and ultimately going to add things like public health costs and people unwell. And they sort of say that this rule was in place for a long time.
I'm ready to put on a show!
Behold the god of thunder!
30 seconds!
We almost out of time, Sesame! Power plants can rise, my friend!
Disappearing. Let's keep fighting until it's clear. Disappearing. Feeling stronger already. You got them all!
Seeing senior U.S. officials
Sorcerer
signaling
Supreme!
tougher expectations.
Another epic victory!
More of the burden, also trying to keep alliances. What is the message from the White House? What message do they want Europe to hear most this weekend?
I thought it was really interesting if you look at Secretary Rubio's speech specifically, right? He said Europe and the United States are stronger together. They're sort of better